Hello, happy stampers. This is Kate with Kate's Paper Creations, and it's time for another box video. Just thought it would be fun. I kind of got on a roll here. So we're going to do another box. As I said before in one of my previous box videos, I make, sheets that tutorial printouts. So if you want one, you can request it. And if you're one of my subscribers, I'd be happy to send it to you. This is the box that we are going to make today, and it's put together so well. And here's how it opens. Get my lid up there. Look at that. Isn't that a cute little thing? And I'm not sure what, I'm getting a collection of boxes. I'm going to have to start giving some things away, I think. So this is the box we're going to make. Let me show you how it is done. Let me get my paper here so I've got it close by. And we'll try to do this without making any mistakes. Okay, you're going to start out with a piece of cardstock, 8.5 by 9. And so this is an 8.5 by 11 sheet, so I'm just going to take 2 inches off one edge like that. And that gives me my 8.5 by 9 piece of paper. With this long side, the 9-inch side at the top, we're going to score at 2 score and 7. If you don't have the Stampin' Up! Paper trimmer, I love this thing. It works so beautifully, and it has both the scoring blade and the cutting blade all on one thing. All you got to do is remember not to cut when you're trying to score, which I'm sure you've done if you've used it. And then you're going to turn it so that the 8.5-inch side is at the top, and we're going to score again at 2 inches. Now I'm pretty exacting, and I put this right on the line. So there's 2 and 4 and 6 and 8. Then we are going to do some cutting. We're going to start by cutting these 2 narrow flaps totally away, just like this. Like that, and then giving those each just a little bit of a trim like that. Then we are going to cut, I have to think for a minute, this way. And we're going to cut all of these right on the score line, just like this. And then we're going to flip it around here, and we're going to do the same on this side. Just like this. This is actually really simple little box to make. And it closes up nice. Okay, so there's those cuts. Then we are going to take these 2, and we're going to just cut off part of them like this. And then give them a little bit of an angle cut as well. And there's the top of the box. So that's the box top, and this is the back side, front side, bottom, and then the flaps. Now I'm going to attach the designer series paper. That's what I have decided to do with this one. And so you need 3 pieces, one for the top and the 2 sides, and they need to be 4 3/4 by 1 3/4. And if you're cutting paper that has a decidedly orientation, a decided orientation, you want to watch for that when you're cutting. And this is going to be the placement of those pieces. So let's see, I think I want that one to go like that. So that's how you're going to lay out your designer series paper, if that's what you choose to do. You could also choose to stamp, and that's, you know, so it's a choice. But let's go ahead and put that. Ooh, this is really pretty too, isn't it? Look at that. But I think I'll stick with my leaves. Okay, that's the hardest part of designer series paper, is it not? Is choosing which side, and then going, oh, I would hate to cover that one up. It's the nature of the decision-making process. Let's see. Yeah, that's okay. It's so much easier to do this when this is still laying flat than after you've put it together. So I do encourage you to do that at this point. Put your DSP on at this point. I'm gonna put this, it'll be okay like this. Just kind of watching for how I want it to look when it's finished. This leaves that 1/8 inch border all the way around the way these are cut. Okay, now we're going to bring in the bone folder, and we are going to burnish all those folds. You want a good crisp fold on all your folds, so it's best to burnish them and not just fold them. And we'll bring all those down and do that one. Bring all these in and do that one. And now we're ready to start gluing. And you've heard me say this before. I've done paper crafting and three-dimensional paper crafting for over 20 years, and put together a lot of beautiful pieces, and have found that tear and tape and double-sided adhesives and none of them will hold. When you have a piece that has any kind of tension or resistance to it, eventually those things will let go. And you don't want to give someone a gift and then have it pop apart when they get it. So use glue. I use Eileen's Quick Dry Tacky Glue, and I put it in my own bottles. So I'm going to start with these two flaps here. And I'm just going to put a little bit of glue on them. And I'm going to bring them up and put them to the inside of this middle flap. Just like that. Make sure that back part just lines up nicely on the back seam, so that you've got a nice clean seam back here. And that's where you're going to want your glue to really be the best, is on wherever the seam comes together. So like on this one, you want some, make sure you've got a good bead of glue there, and the rest you can kind of just do, because you want it to have a really good seal so that it looks neat. Now if you get a little squish out like I did, you just wipe it off. I keep a wet wipe handy, and clean my fingers up, and it doesn't hurt a thing. There's that flap. And then whenever I'm making a box of any kind, I always have what I consider the front of the box. I have these folds go this way, so that always works nicely. And so then this is going to have this edge and this edge and this edge are the edges I want to seal really, really well. So I'm going to make sure that I get glue on those edges, and then I can just kind of spread some around there. And get that. Hold it for a little bit, let it dry. And then do the same thing on this side. Yeah, I'll get some here too. Give that a second to dry. Clean up my fingers. And there is the box. Look how easy that was. It's just so beautiful with just the designer series papers, isn't it? And then these it just tucks in like that. And there's the top. Clean up my glue so it doesn't plug up for the future. And there it is. You can embellish as desired. I hope you enjoyed this quick little video. You have a great day.